Free, prior and informed consent is a part of Indigenous peoples' laws, traditions, and customs. The right to self-determination is not only an Indigenous right, but a human right. When governments or companies come to our lands to extract resources, we have the right to say no. We also hold the right to say yes. But first, we must be properly informed to consent to anything that may impact our way of life and cultural traditions. Indigenous communities have reinstated protocol. To access the land, everyone must go through protocol. When a trapline is active with several hunters in the winter, they must get permission from the chief hunter to work the trapline. A respectful relationship many neighboring nations still uphold strongly today. Indigenous peoples have the right to own, use, develop, and control the lands, territories, and resources that they possess by reason of traditional occupation. In September 2007, the United Nations adopted a Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the Undrip. The Declaration does not create new rights for Indigenous peoples. It affirms existing rights. The Undrip's core principles are to encourage and respect the human rights of Indigenous peoples, including the right to self-determination regarding all levels of development. Canada adopted the Undrip in May 2016. Now more than 145 countries have endorsed the declaration. Indigenous traditional law is law. Free, prior, and informed consent, FPIC, enables Indigenous peoples to have a say in resource project developments that may affect their ways of life. Indigenous right and title in Canada has been reaffirmed by the landmark Delgamuukw and Chilcotin Supreme Court decisions, affirming Indigenous peoples' right to practice our culture through hunting and fishing on our lands. Development within our traditional territories cannot impact or hinder Indigenous practices and cultures now or for future generations. Governments and Indigenous communities have a responsibility to future generations not to impair or deprive our children, grandchildren, and future generations from traditional uses of the land. The inherent right and title of each nation must be fully recognized by federal and provincial governments, and any decision that will affect Indigenous communities must respect Indigenous law. That means denying or granting consent only after meaningful consultation, where the information regarding the developments has been received and understood in a process free of coercion, violence, and manipulation. FPIC allows all members of an Indigenous community to have a say in how a project is designed and executed. It also gives governments and developers the knowledge to improve understanding of Indigenous communities, to build trust and ensure a sustainable future for all.